Everybody, it's time for Oktoberfest. What's up guys, Sargent Suds here. Now it is a wonderful time of year because you may have heard, if you're a beer fan, about a little thing called Oktoberfest. It runs from mid-September to early October in Germany. Probably the best beer festival in the world and something I am dying to visit one day. In the interim, I have to settle for the Oktoberfest beers that are released every year, and generally this is one of my favorite times for seasonal beer. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be reviewing multiple versions of Oktoberfest put out by different breweries, and at the end of the month of September, around the time that the Oktoberfest festival in Germany comes to its culmination, I'm going to tell you which one was the best. So today we're going to start with 3 beers brewed in the state of Texas. We got St. Arnold, Southern Star, and Shiner. Now, if you've been keeping up with my blog at all or my YouTube channel, you'll know that these are 3 of my favorite breweries from here in Texas. St. Arnold and Southern Star put out amazing beer all the time. Shiner gets it right more often than not. So this is going to be a bit of a tight competition, I imagine, from the front end, but let's crack them all open and see what we think. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. We're going to start with the canned variety. So again, this is Southern Star's Oktoberfest. Southern Star, based in Conroe, Texas. Great brewery. Their Bombshell Blonde is one of the best beers I've tried since I've started running this site. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Nice amber color. Building up a reasonable head. It's not as carbonated as the head would make you think. There's a little bit coming through, you can probably see there. Nice kind of warmed malt, sort of darkened malt smell to it. That is a really nice beer. What I like about it, it's got some complexity. Again, Oktoberfest, you start getting into sort of the cooler months of the year. You move away from the really light, bubbly, kind of shallow flavored beers that you see in the summer, and you start getting, again, some sort of stronger malts and barleys and some sort of, it's cooked, it's more developed, there's more to it, and this is a great example of that, but it's still really thin and easy to drink. I mean, don't get me wrong, the flavor profile is there, but it's not, really thick, and I feel like you could drink several of these without kind of getting weighed down by it. This is an excellent beer. This is going to be a tough competition, I'm telling you from the outset. All right, let's set this aside for a minute. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go with next the Shiner Oktoberfest. Let's see. Got my handy Guinness bottle opener. Oh, I love that sound. Okay. So this one's pouring quite a bit lighter than Southern Star's. I'll put them up next to each other here in a second for comparison. And it's also pulling a much bigger head, as you can see. So again, we have the Southern Star, we have the Shiner. You know what? It's not as big of a difference as I had initially thought, but the Southern Star is a little darker. The carbonation in the Shiner is a lot higher, and as you can see, there's a really thick, foamy head that's hanging around. The one from Southern Star disappeared like that. This one's got a lot more of a hoppy, kind of bitter tone to it. And the taste kind of comes through the same way. Again, quite malty. It's got a lot more bitterness to it. The Southern Star one, not so much. I'm finding that neither of them are really holding an aftertaste all that well. I mean, again, we're talking sort of fairly malty, not so bitter beer, so it's a little thicker, a little heavier. As I said, the carbonation is still hanging around. I mean, obviously, the Southern Star has been open a little bit longer, but it's pretty much died down the bubbles. The Shine is pushing through. If you're someone who likes more hops, more bitterness in your beer, this would probably be your preferred beer over that one, but it's a good beer nonetheless. Right, let's try the third one, and then we'll start working out the rankings. So St. Arnold, excellent beer. Based out of Houston, going through some tough times right now. Just want to point out, pints for prostates. So get behind it. It's a serious issue men have to face. Okay. So again, this is even more carbonated, more highly carbonated, but the head, it came up nice and strong, but it's not as thick and dense. It's dissipating really quickly, kind of like what we saw with the Southern Star. I'm gonna put them next to each other real quick before I try this one, just for comparison, so you can see what we're looking for. So right now you can see, again, you're a little on the hazy side, probably the darkest one here, but they're all fairly similar. Now, as you can see, the St. Arnold is just bubbling away. Let me pull that nice and close. See the bubbles coming through? Okay. This one has a much more developed flavor than the other two. By in a way, these two, lots of malts, a little bit toasted, a little bit of barley kind of coming through. You got the hops coming through on the Shiner. But the St. Arnold is, it's definitely, it's got a much just generally deeper flavor. Obviously the malts are still the sort of primary flavor of it all, but it's thin and it's highly carbonated and it's confusing a little bit, all right, so let's see. Try to rank these from 1 through 3. Let's start at the bottom. I'm gonna have to give it, unfortunately, to St. Arnold. I mean, it's different. The flavor profile, again, not bad, just not my favorite. Yeah. So number 3 goes to the St. Arnold. Now this is a bit of a tougher choice. The Southern Star one's really good. They're quite similar, realistically speaking. I think the only major difference really is if you're looking for something that has a bit more of a hoppiness to it, then if that's the case, I would recommend the Shiner, but for me, I'm gonna go with the Southern Star. I'm thinking that's your preferred one there, at least for me. So out of the 3 again, well, that worked out pretty well. We're gonna go in order. 3rd, St. Arnold. 2nd, the Oktoberfest by Shiner. And in 1st place, Southern Star out of Conroe, Texas. So guys, there you have it. Now remember, I was telling you, we're going to be doing this weekly throughout the month of September leading into October. So be sure to stick by. Subscribe to this channel because review number 2 will be coming up pretty soon. Again, my name's Sargent Suds, and I look forward to seeing you back here again soon.